Right, welcome ladies and gents. Disney is, nuclear meltdown. Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo have been pushed as new candidates for Disney's board. So that's former Disney CFO, Jay Rasulo. Pretty crazy. And of course, Trian CEO Nelson Peltz. Pretty big deal in this proxy battle, actually. Pretty big deal in this proxy battle. So we've actually got a statement from Trian Partners here. Trian nominates 2 candidates to the Walt Disney Company board. FYI, massive shout out to Mexican Iron Man for this, and massive shout out to Tom Connors for sending this over to me, courtesy of Mexican Iron Man. So, believes that Disney's board's lack of focus, alignment, and accountability has resulted in chronic underperformance at one of the world's most iconic companies. Pretty true. So this is released today. New York and Palm Beach, Florida, December 14th, 2023. Trian Fund Management LP, together with its affiliates Trian, Our, or We, will, which beneficially owns $3 billion of common stock in the Walt Disney Company, today submitted a notice of its intention to nominate 2 independent director candidates for election to the Disney Board of Directors at the company's 2024 annual meeting of shareholders. Crazy times. So Disney is one of the most iconic companies in the world, with unrivaled scale, unparalleled customer loyalty, that's waning, irreplaceable intellectual property, that is true, although they're degrading it, and an enviable commercial flywheel. However, Disney has woefully underperformed its peers and its potential. True story. Earnings per share in the most recent fiscal year were lower than the earnings per share generated by Disney a decade ago, and were over 50% lower than peak earnings per share, despite over $100 billion of capital invested. That is quite crazy. Margins in both Disney direct-to-consumer business and its consolidated media operations significantly lag peers, despite Disney having large-scale and superior IP. So for shareholders, this subpar performance has destroyed value. Disney stock has underperformed the stocks of Disney's self-selected proxy peers and the broader market over every relevant period during the last decade, and during the tenure of each non-management director. Furthermore, it has underperformed since Bob Iger was first appointed CEO in 2005, a period during which he has served as CEO or executive chairman for all but 11 months. Disney shareholders were once over $200 billion wealthier than they are now. That's crazy to think. Unfortunately, the board and CEO appear to have no conviction that things will get better. The non-management directors collectively own less than $15 million of Disney stock, and Mr. Iger has sold the vast majority of his ownership stake, built up primarily through share-based compensation, more than $1 billion of Disney stock, leaving shareholders alone to face the daunting reality of a complex turnaround in a rapidly evolving industry. That's probably the biggest smoking gun out of the whole thing. You know, Trian, Nelson Peltz, along with Ike Perlmutter, I mean, they are the biggest individual shareholders. Why are they not on the board? And that turnaround does not appear to be materialising. Since Mr. Iger's first earnings call after returning as CEO, tens of billions of shareholder value has been lost. Consensus earnings per share estimates for fiscal year 24 and 25 have fallen meaningfully, as even the company claims to be cutting billions of costs, and studio content continues to disappoint consumers. True story. Slowing the speed of the flywheel and threatening future earnings growth. You can't argue with any of this, by the way. I love this. More generally, Disney appears no closer to adequately addressing the compensation, misalignment, governance, and succession issues that have plagued the company for decades. The root cause of Disney's underperformance, in our view, is a board that is too closely connected to a long-tenured CEO. That is true. He personally appointed all of these people. They are Mr. Iger's men. And too disconnected from shareholders' interest. That's true. The board, we believe, lacks objectivity, as well as focus, alignment, and accountability. Although the recent appointment of 2 new directors to the Disney board is a step towards greater board objectivity. Not really, but yeah, kind of. This reactive board self-refreshment on the eve of a proxy contest is insufficient, in our opinion. Both because the new directors were chosen without shareholder input, and because they seemingly do not own meaningful amounts of stock. you can't argue with this. So Nelson Peltz made an official statement here as well. As Disney's largest active shareholder, we can no longer sit idly by as the incumbent directors and their hand-picked replacements stand in the way of necessary change, and peers and competitors continue to outperform. In our view, Disney's board has failed to fulfill its essential responsibilities, overseeing the development of an effective strategy, planning for orderly succession, aligning executive pay with performance, that's a given, they should do that, and ensuring accountability for operational execution. Shareholder-led board refreshment with focused and aligned directors who are accountable to the owners of the company is long overdue. Because that's right, the shareholders own the company, right? That's them. They've got the income there. I mean, they've got the shares, right? So Trian's director candidates are dedicated, experienced, and positioned to help address the company's considerable governance, strategic, financial, and operational challenges. So here's what they say. Nelson Peltz. Nelson is Trian's chief executive officer and a founding partner, and has served as director on more than a dozen public company boards, including at world-class companies with best-in-class brands such as Procter & Gamble, Unilever, H.J. Heinz, Mondelez, and Ingersoll Rand. Mr. Peltz's experience is unparalleled among public companies, directors, as is his track record for prompting bold action to drive operational turnarounds, transformations, effective leadership, succession, processes, and value creation across numerous industries. That's pretty true. And here we've got the former CFO. Jay spent 3 decades at Disney and served as Senior Executive, Vice President, and Chief Financial Officer of the company from 2010 to 2015. During his tenure as CFO, the company delivered compound annual returns for shareholders of approximately 27%. That's what you want if you're a shareholder. And compounded earnings per share at a rate of approximately 20%. Paid a consistent and generous dividend. I love the fact that they're just appealing to people's wallets. Because that's what it's true. That's what it is, a business. And Disney's parks and resorts worldwide from 2005 to 2009, and was president. I missed a bit there. Paid a consistent, generous dividend, and Disney's share price appreciated over 250% before being appointed CFO. Jay was chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts from 2005 to 2009, and was president of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts from 2002 to 2005. Delivering compounded high single-digit revenue and segment operating income growth annually. Bob Iger called Jay a vital contributor to Disney's success with strategic acumen and savvy insight. Can't really argue with that either, can you? Anyway, there's more. Statement from Mr. Peltz again. To resolve the malaise and crisis of confidence among Disney shareholders, true story, the board needs fresh perspectives from truly independent directors selected by the shareholders themselves. Can't argue with that. Jay and I have the strategic, operating, financial and governance expertise to help Disney and are committed to working with the other members of the board and management team to address the fundamental issues underlying the company's continued poor performance. There is much that can be done to revive Disney and restore the confidence of Disney shareholders, and Trian looks forward to discussing these opportunities with our fellow shareholders over the coming months. A statement from Jay. The Disney I know and love has lost its way. As independent voices in the boardroom, Nelson and I are confident that the combination of my decades of experience at Disney, Nelson's significant boardroom skills and history of driving positive strategic change, and our combined consumer brands expertise and financial acumen will be additive to the Disney board. With a shareholder mandate, Nelson and I look forward to helping the board and management reorient the company towards delighting its consumers again and driving significant value for its owners. So Trian expects that the 2024 annual meeting will take place in spring of 2024. Shareholders do not need to take any action at this time. They're basically saying, hey shareholders, this is what we're going to do for you, mate. I love it. I think this is hilarious. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. This is something that they sent around to shareholders, guys. Oh, it's heating up. It's heating up. It is heating up. I think it's staggering here. Disney shareholders were over $200 billion wealthier than they are now. I mean, that says it all, doesn't it? Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.